Hi, I'm Penny. I'm an advisory specialist at Skokie Public Library.
I'm Perry, and I'm an information specialist at the Skokie Public Library.
And I'm Neil, and I'm also an information specialist at the Skokie Public Library.
And we're here today to give you a few anime recommendations during this crazy stay-at-home time, in case you're bored, as we kind of are. What anime is basically Japanese animation. It has specific art style and aim at different demographics, all for different ages. So what are we recommending today, guys?
We're going to start with Death Note, which is often called anime for people who don't like anime, which I think is unfair because as a person who likes anime, I also like Death Note. So Death Note is anime for everyone, except possibly small children. It is called Death Note. The warnings for murder. There's so much murder in this series. So Death Note is about Yagami Light, who is a typical straight-A high school student, disillusioned with the world, sort of crime, how terrible everything is. He sees everything as being sort of this dark nightmare that he thinks, because he's a genius, because as I said, straight-A student, he can fix. And then one day he finds a notebook where it turns out if he writes anybody's name in, as long as he knows what they look like, they die, and he can control how they die, and he can kill them however he likes. So he starts using this to kill criminals because he's trying to clean up the world. He wants to create a utopia, not just by killing all the people who do crimes, but by thereby encouraging other people to not do crimes, because he sets himself up. He sets it up so that people notice that he's killing people in these impossible ways, so that everyone sort of thinks of him as having these omniscient, omnipotent abilities, that he can do anything he wants, and so people are in fact scared to commit crimes because they think Kira, his godly killer alter ego, is going to kill them if he does. Naturally, killing people is still a crime, even if you're killing criminals, so the world's greatest detective, of course, and a team of police officers and other FBI agents, etc., team up to try and catch him, and it turns into this sort of deadly cat and mouse thing between them as he tries to figure out who's on his tail so he can kill them, and they try to figure out who he is so that they can arrest him. And so it's a dark psychological thriller about what justice looks like and power corrupting, and what it means to create a utopia, what it means to be a good person or a bad person, and the actions have consequences and all sorts of big dark themes.
There's like a supernatural element to it,
Yeah.
But what I love is that, it kind of get you to think about what lines you can cross, what's good and what's bad, because Kira, or Yagami Light, our protagonist, believed at the beginning that, hey, he's doing good, but essentially he is also killing people.
Yeah.
Because he's killing criminals, and because he's killing people that you see doing terrible things, and because he's a really fun protagonist, he does end up sort of drawing you along, and you end up sort of, and when the police are hot at his tail, you do go, oh, how is he going to get out of this one, because he's a genius, but then the detective is also a genius, and watching them try to catch each other, you do go, oh, how is he going to get out of this one? I want him to get out of this one. I want him to not get caught, even though of course he's a terrible criminal and we should want him to get caught, but he's just so much fun to watch.
So where can you watch the show? It is available on Crunchyroll, which is, I would say, mainly anime streaming website. It's available for free, but with ads. The good thing about this is it's also available in English dub. Normally, I watch, of course, in Japanese dub and English subtitles, but fortunately, Crunchyroll Death Note is available in English dub for those who want to just, be into it and not have to read, a lot of subtitles, because sometimes subtitles do take you away from, what's going on. And it's also for those that have paid subscriptions to Netflix and Hulu. Same thing, available in both English dub and English subtitle. Additionally, Netflix also has Spanish dub. So for those of you who are interested, and it's also available in TV shows, live action, movie as well. I kind of would want you guys to actually watch the anime one. I feel like it's done much better. The story is better portrayed. Characters are more interesting.
Yeah.
But that's just my
Yeah.
opinion. So.
I think Neil and I are both gonna second that one.
Yeah.
The anime does a better job.
I mean,
There's also a movie, but we don't talk about the movie. The movie was just bad. The movie doesn't exist.
What movie are you talking about?
There's no movie.
Yeah, we will talk about that. Yeah.
All right.
What you talking
But
about?
so that's Death Note. So and now for something completely different.
So the next recommendation that we had was Cells at Work. And basically it takes your human body and it turns it into like a city or like a mecca of just where all of your little cells are running around. But your cells aren't just, like little things floating around. They're human. They have human-like characteristics. And what's really cool about it is that, natural things happen to this, the person that they're in, right? So, they get cuts, they get infections, they get sick, like all this kind of stuff.
Get influenza?
They get influenza, right? So, and it kind of, and it shows this in a way that's kind of fascinating. So like you have like, the little red blood cells, running around with like food, trying to deliver that, right? Or, with oxygen trying to deliver that. And then you have your white blood cells who are like, this kind of like commando looking person. And they like, kill in like these glorious battles, bacteria that, enter your body. So it's actually really, really cool. And if you have like any interest in, like how your body kind of functions on like a cell level.
And the characters are all still like, I was not a biology major, but the character designs are all still really cute, and all of their personalities are also really fun, and watching them like run around and talk to each other and fight the bacteria, and try to, keep from pouring out of your body when you get a cut, is still a lot of fun. And they still have, like fun conversations and relationships, and the fight scenes are really cool because it is in fact really awesome to watch like your white blood cell anthropomorphized as a dude with a knife attacking some bacteria, and so you don't have to you don't have to get into the sort of like the educational elements of what's the biology, what's the anatomy of it all, but if you do, then it's also really cool because you can tell how much research they did and how much effort they put into this. The red blood cell, who's the main character, who is a girl in a red hat and a red jacket. But her red hat, if you look at it from the right angle, has the little dip that like a red blood cell does when you see like pictures of red blood cells. So it looks like that. And her red jacket is either darker or lighter, depending on whether she's carrying oxygen or carbon dioxide. And all of the different bacteria are all, the way they're designed visually is all really accurate, like not even accurate exactly, but really dependent on how they actually look or what kind of abilities the bacteria actually has. Viruses, for instance, are all like zombies because the viruses infect your actual cells and then use those cells to replicate, which I think is a lot of fun. There's a really good metaphor for how that works. But if you don't really care about the biology, it's still fun to watch your immune system fight zombies.
It's very creative, and I wish it had come out when I was taking biology for real. Totally would have helped me remember things.
Yeah, definitely.
That was the stuff of my past. Yeah.
None of us are doing that anymore, but if we were, it would be very helpful.
Nice. It'd be very nice.
Be really nice, yeah. The animation is well done. It's so colorful, and the voice acting is great. And good news is it's also available on Crunchyroll for free with ads. I believe it's 14 episodes on Crunchyroll, but it's also available on Netflix if you have Netflix subscription. Netflix has English dub, so it'd probably be easier. This is one of the anime that I feel like maybe it's easier for me to like have seen in English. It's rare, but I'm like, maybe I'll remember things, quicker. And for Death Note, I forgot to mention, it's 37 episodes overall. Mm-hmm. So it's these two anime that we, recommended are easily bingeable. They're 20 minutes per episode. So yay. And yeah, we really hope that you guys will enjoy our recommendation. If you don't, let us know in the comments below, and we'll try to come up with different titles.
Or let us know what you think of the shows. Yeah.
Let us know if you don't like them.
That's true.
Let us know that too.
Yeah.
And we can
Yeah.
do better next time.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys stay safe, take care of yourself, your family, and hopefully things will get back to normal-ish soon so we can see you.
But in the meantime, watch good TV.
Agreed.
Bye, guys.
Bye.